All right, let's talk about that exam question on expert systems. You know the one. If you've ever felt a little shaky on how to answer it, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through how to build the perfect answer step by step so you can grab every single mark. Let's do this.
So, here's our target. This is the kind of question you're likely to see. 8 home marks are just sitting there waiting for you. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to get them. So let's break down what a perfect answer looks like.
First things first, before we get into the nitty-gritty, you've got to show the examiner you get the big picture. Kicking off your answer with a really clear, confident definition is how you start banking those first easy marks. And here it is. The 2 absolute keywords you have to remember are emulate a human expert and narrow domain. You got to get those in there. We're not talking about some kind of general, all-knowing AI. Nope. This is about copying a specialist. Like a mechanic who only works on one type of engine.
Okay, pro tip right here. If you really want to signal to the examiner that you know your stuff, drop this term in. Saying it's a knowledge-driven decision support system, or DSS, shows you understand where these systems fit in the grand scheme of things. It's a small detail, but it screams, I did my reading.
Right, on to the next part of the question, listing out the components. Honestly, just getting this list down correctly is a huge step. It's like building the skeleton of your answer before adding the meat.
And there they are, the big 5. You've got the user interface, the knowledge base, the inference engine, the explanation facility, and the knowledge acquisition facility. My advice? Seriously, just memorize this list. Write it down a few times until it sticks. This is the foundation for a top-tier answer. Okay, let's look at where all the smarts are actually stored. That's the knowledge base. Think of it like the system's own personal library, totally dedicated to one subject. It really is the heart of the whole operation. So its job is simple but absolutely critical. It holds all that specialized, domain-specific knowledge. And you have to understand, the entire system is only as good as the information that's packed into this knowledge base. Now, this is important. The knowledge base isn't just one big pile of facts. It holds 2 kinds of knowledge. You've got factual knowledge, that's the textbook stuff, the basics. But then you have heuristic knowledge. That's the secret sauce. These are the experts' tricks, the rules of thumb they learn from experience. Heuristic is a massive keyword for your answer. And this is a perfect example of how that heuristic knowledge works in practice. It's usually stored as simple if-then rules. It's a beautifully simple structure. If this and that are true, then this other thing is probably true. Giving an example like this in your answer makes the whole concept really concrete. And now for the main event. The question specifically asked about the inference engine. This right here is where the bulk of your marks are going to come from. This is the part of your answer that really needs to shine. So just think of it as the brain. It's not storing information like the knowledge base. It's the part that does the thinking. It's the program that takes a problem, goes to the knowledge base, and uses the rules it finds there to actually reason its way to a conclusion. So, how does this brain think? This is the crucial part for getting those top marks. It uses 2 main strategies. Forward chaining is data-driven. It starts with the facts, like a patient's symptoms, and works forward to figure out what's wrong. Backward chaining is goal-driven. It starts with a guess, hey, maybe it's the flu, and then works backward to see if the symptoms match. You absolutely must use the keywords data-driven and goal-driven here. Okay, before we wrap this up into a final answer, let's quickly hit the other components. The question might focus on the inference engine, but showing you know what the others do proves you see the whole system, not just the parts. The user interface? Well, that's just the bridge, how you and the system talk to each other. The knowledge acquisition facility is the tool experts use to build and update the knowledge base. And the explanation facility is so important for trust because it's the part that explains how it got an answer, just like a real expert would. All right, let's pull all of this together. Here is your final checklist, your game plan for writing that perfect 8-mark answer that'll make the examiner nod in approval. You just follow this structure, and you really can't go wrong. Start with that crisp definition, list the 5 parts, and then zoom in on the brain, the inference engine. Explain what it does, and most importantly, contrast its 2 ways of thinking. And all along the way, make sure you sprinkle in these keywords. That's what separates a decent answer from a great one.
And there you have it, the complete blueprint. It really makes you think, though, doesn't it? An expert system's logic is only ever as good as the human expert who helped create it. Which really begs the question, what's the biggest risk when we put our trust in this artificial brain? Something to chew on. For now, get these keywords locked in, and good luck, you've got this.